The daily life of an athletic trainer is hectic, long, and constantly changing. But it's a life that ISU head athletic trainer Jodi Wotowey has been drawn to for over 20 years.
I was an athlete from the time I could walk practically, and so I knew that I wanted to stay in athletics. That was my world, those were my friends, and I didn't necessarily have this desire to be the coach.
There's a multitude of ways to stay involved in athletics outside of athletic training, but Wotowey was drawn to the scientific side of athletics. Her father, a veterinarian, sparked her interest in medicine.
But combine that with athletics and an interest in physical therapy, but knowing that I wanted to stay with a very active population, and that's where athletic training came in.
She has a bachelor's degree in biology and a master's in physiology and kinesiology, and she's worked at major universities like TCU and Texas A&M. She arrived in Pocatello in August of 2004, and after 3 years took over as head trainer.
I try to delegate to my staff as much as possible. I have some great assistants that I've been able to keep for a number of years now that have taken over certain areas. What I really gravitate to is working one-on-one with the athletes, because that's what I enjoy and that's where I think that my strengths are.
Most often, preventative treatment is all that's required for a student athlete, but even with those measures, they may still suffer a major injury. For Wotowey, the process of treating a major injury begins the second it occurs.
You may or may not have had the opportunity to actually see it, and so it starts before the athlete is down on the ground, potentially, and or best case scenario, you actually saw the mechanism, and so your mind is already starting to think as you're going out to them.
For major injuries, there are checklists and protocol to follow, but a lot of the healing process is related to comfort care.
Obviously, managing the injury, but also managing the psychology and helping the athlete to just get through that painful time.
In order to assist nearly 300 Idaho State student athletes effectively, Wotowey and her staff make it a priority to educate themselves about changing ideas, treatments, and practices. This past year, Wotowey elected to take a course in massage therapy that has already benefited her student athletes.
Some techniques that I didn't know that have been something that I've been able to share with other staff members and some of our students, and are very effective, and I personally think, used at the right time, maybe more effective than modalities, and then coupling it with strengthening and stuff like that is always important.
Whether prevention, treatment, rehab, or just lending an ear, Wotowey and the Idaho State athletic trainers are ready for the job.